Now, the 2014-15 NBA season ushers in a new era of competition. Derrick Rose is now 26 and he's fully in his prime. And Carmelo Anthony is a fully high-volume scorer Chicago has very much sought. And Jimmy Butler blossoms into a two-way star, with his first All-Star season mirroring the one in real life where he won the Most Improved Player award. Now, the Bulls' big three of Rose, Melo, and Noah, adding a big four to make it Butler as well, quickly establishes team chemistry on offense. D. Rose pushes the pace and breaks down defenses, Melo provides clutch scoring and floor spacing in the half court, and Butler adapts into a do-everything role, and guarding the opponent's best wing at all costs, whilst averaging around 18 to 20 points per game on solid efficiency. And under Thibodeau's guidance, Chicago Bulls balanced improved offense with their customary top 5 defense, and they won around 58 games, contending for the top seed in the Eastern Conference. However, LeBron James' homecoming to Cleveland creates a formidable foe. The new Cleveland Cavaliers with LeBron James, Kyrie Irving, and Kevin Love, acquired in the blockbuster trade, start slow but start to catch fire in the second half of the season. And meanwhile, the Atlanta Hawks surprise everybody by winning 40 games. With their core of Dennis Schroeder, Kent Bazemore, Paul Millsap, Al Horford, they have a beautiful, team-oriented style of basketball, as all 4 of them made the All-Star team. And by season's end, the Eastern Conference standings are very tight as Atlanta secures the number 1 seed with 60 wins, the Chicago Bulls finish second with 58 wins, and the Cleveland Cavaliers finish number 3 with 53 wins. And after some early struggles and injuries, these teams slowly but surely make their stride as they get ready to gear up for the playoffs. Now, for the awards, in real life, the exact same thing happens in this alternate reality. Stephen Curry still wins MVP, whilst averaging 23 points per game and revolutionizing the three-point shot. But Derrick Rose this time ends up getting back onto the All-NBA second team. And Jimmy Butler is named the Most Improved Player, as we mentioned before. Now, the Eastern Conference playoffs become a three-way dance among Atlanta's depth, Chicago's star power, and Cleveland's superstar trio. In the first round, the 2-seeded Bulls face the 7-seed Miami Heat, a poetic matchup that pitched Chicago against a diminished Heat squad, basically like LeBron-less, and D. Wade tries to carry the load as Chris Bosh is dealing with some injuries. So, in this case, the Bulls are hungry and they want to prove themselves through this post-Melo acquisition. And they dispatch Miami in a gentleman's sweep, 4-1. They pack them boys up, really easy, send them boys back to Cancun, and it's not looking good for the Heat in the future. R.I.P. my Heat! Now, officially closing the book on that old Heat rivalry. Now, in the semifinals, Chicago faces the 3-seeded Cavaliers, and it's a series of intensity of a conference final. It's Rose versus LeBron in the playoffs once again, but now with their new supporting cast. This matchup is fiercely contested and mirrors a lot of the elements from the real 2015 Bulls-Cavs series. But with Chicago's added firepower, it tilts the balance. In our timeline, the real Bulls without Melo, they lost in 6 games after D. Rose hit a game winner in Game 3 and LeBron gets a game winner in Game 4 right after that. Back-to-back buzzer beaters by superstars, never before done in NBA history. In the alternate timeline, the Bulls have Carmelo Anthony to shoulder the scoring when D. Rose is rested, and it helps punish the Cleveland Cavaliers' weaker defenses. And Kevin Love's presence is still a very big question mark, as in reality he was injured during the first round after Kelly Olynyk pulls on his arm and dislocates his shoulder. And in this reality, the exact same thing happens as well. And that leaves Cleveland very short-handed. So the Bulls capitalize. D. Rose continues his clutch play, scores a buzzer beater in Game 3, and LeBron hits his game winner in Game 4. However, in Game 5, Melo has a vintage 35-point performance in Game 5, and the Chicago Bulls eliminate the Cleveland Cavaliers in 6 games. And LeBron's Cleveland Cavaliers fall short in year 1. Another year, LeBron does not make the NBA Finals. And the other East semis see the Atlanta Hawks play the Washington Wizards. And pretty much the exact same thing happens, and the Hawks win it in 6 games, whilst Paul Pierce tries to carry that young and upcoming Wizards team. Now, the Eastern Conference Finals pitch Chicago against the 60-win Atlanta Hawks. Now, this Atlanta Hawks team, whilst well-coached and well-balanced, they lack a very true superstar. Al Horford is very good, but we all know he's kind of average, you know what I mean? And there's nothing wrong with that, you know what I'm saying? That's okay! And we have Paul Millsap, of course. He's always been solid, the Jazz and on other teams, but he's never been that top guy. And they have Jeff Teague, You have Dennis Schroeder, Kent Bazemore, Kyle Korver. It's just not enough, bro. They're just average. Now the Bulls, they're very battle-tested against the Cleveland Cavaliers. And they exploit that difference as they went off against prime LeBron James. That's a big difference. Regardless of if their team was injured, it doesn't matter. Now D-Rose outduels Jeff Teague and clearly boxes him. Like, Jeff Teague is in distraught talking about this man. And Jimmy Butler's defense contains Atlanta's top scorer, Kyle Korver. And Butler has a lot of familiarity guarding Kyle Korver, as he did when he was on the Chicago Bulls in his younger days. And Joakim Noah, though showing signs of wear and tear in his knees, contributes enough alongside Taj Gibson to neutralize Atlanta Hawks' star power. And it neutralizes the star bigs, Al Horford and Paul Millsap. And after a split in the first two games, Chicago's star power proves to be very, very decisive, as Carmelo Anthony shines in Game 3 with a flurry of fourth quarter baskets. And the Bulls never look back. So the Bulls end up winning the series in 5 games. And they capture the Eastern Conference crown for the second straight year. This is D-Rose's third appearance in the NBA Finals, and D-Rose wins the East Finals MVP. So now we're in the NBA Finals, and we see a fresh new face. The Golden State Warriors have a rising team. Steph Curry is a league MVP, and the Warriors have a new motion offense led by Steve Kerr, and that includes Klay Thompson, Draymond Green, Andre Iguodala, etc., etc., etc. And they're revolutionizing the game. Now the finals becomes a clash of styles and storylines. The seasoned Bulls with multiple stars, and the up-and-coming Warriors and their burgeoning dynasty. Now notably, this matchup deprives fans of the original LeBron Curry timeline that we lived through, right? And it harkens back to their college days and their early career comparisons. One is D-Rose and Steph Curry, as they both played in college around the same time. Now in the series, Golden State have a massive home court advantage, as they basically not lost at home all season, and they won 67 games that same year. And they use that to their advantage in Game 1, as Steph Curry hits three-pointers in the first half, right? Ends up the game with 5, and the Warriors win comfortably as Chicago adjusts to Golden State's pace and floor spacing, something that they never really dealt with throughout a 7-game series. Now, Tom Thibodeau makes some massive counter adjustments. Butler takes on the primary assignment of guarding Steph Curry, and that allows D-Rose to conserve energy on offense. This yields dividends within Game 2, as Butler's defense and Rose's 28 points help Chicago steal a road win in Oakland and hands the Warriors one of their rare home losses. And as the series shifts to Chicago, the Bulls feed off of their home crowd, and Game 3 is a massive classic, right? Rose and Curry, they trade a lot of highlight plays, whether it's Rose attacking the rim or Curry hitting 3-pointers with a no-look, you know what I mean? Or shooting it from damn near half court, right?